What if your thoughts aren't just thoughts, but instructions your brain follows to build your reality? Not metaphorically, not philosophically, literally, biologically. Stay with me. In the 1940s, a mystic named Neville Goddard proposed something radical. He called it the law of assumption. The idea is simple. Whatever you genuinely assume to be true about yourself and your life, your mind accepts it as reality and begins moving toward it. Not just positive thinking, not just wishing, assuming, as in taking it as already given. Sounds abstract, right? Maybe even a little out there. But here's where it gets interesting. Modern neuroscience, the hard science of how your brain actually works, has something surprising to say about this. And what it says might completely change how you think about thinking. Your brain is not fixed. It's not hardwired at birth and frozen in place. It physically changes based on what you repeatedly think, feel, and do. This is called neuroplasticity, and it's one of the most profound discoveries in modern science. Here's the key principle. Neurons that fire together, wire together. Every time you think a thought, a specific set of neurons activates. The more you repeat that thought, the more those neurons connect, like a trail forming through a dense forest. At first, the path is faint. You're pushing through undergrowth. But with every pass, the trail gets clearer, wider, easier. Eventually, it becomes the default route. Your brain stops choosing to take it. It just goes there automatically. Now think about what Neville was describing. When you hold an assumption, I am capable, I am someone who succeeds, good things happen to me, and you repeat it, dwell in it, feel it as real, you are not just daydreaming. You are literally building neural infrastructure. The assumption becomes encoded, reinforced, automatic. It shifts from something you're trying to believe to something your brain simply treats as background truth. That is not magic, that is neurobiology. But your brain doesn't just rewire, it also filters. And this is where things get even more interesting. Right now, your brain is receiving about 11 million bits of information per second. Sounds, sights, sensations, signals from your body, all of it flooding in simultaneously. But you're consciously aware of maybe 40 bits. So who decides what makes the cut? Meet the reticular activating system, the RAS. It's a network of neurons at the base of your brainstem, and it acts like a filter, a bouncer, a curator. Its job is to scan the overwhelming flood of incoming data and flag what's relevant, what matters, what deserves your attention. And here's the key. The RAS is calibrated by your dominant beliefs. It filters reality to match what it's been told is important to you. In other words, your assumptions are literally programming what your brain lets you see. Here's a classic example. Have you ever decided to buy a specific car, say a red Honda, and suddenly you start seeing red Hondas everywhere? They didn't multiply. They were always there. Your RAS just started flagging them. Now imagine what happens when your dominant assumption isn't about a car, it's about you. When your standing belief is, I am someone opportunities find, your RAS starts flagging every opening, every coincidence, every conversation that might be exactly that. So let's put it all together. You hold an assumption, you repeat it, you feel it as real. Step 1, neuroplasticity. Your brain physically rewires. The neural pathway for that belief gets stronger, faster, more automatic. Step 2, RAS calibration. Your brain's filter gets tuned to notice evidence that matches the assumption. Result, your experience of reality changes. Not because the universe magically rearranged itself, but because your brain is now built differently and perceiving differently. Not magic, mechanism. And here's the part that makes this a system, not just a trick. Once your brain starts noticing matching evidence, those experiences feed back into the assumption. See, this is true about me. That reinforcement strengthens the neural pathway further, which makes the RAS even more finely tuned to find more evidence, which produces more experiences, which deepen the assumption. It's a self-reinforcing loop, a cycle that builds on itself, in whichever direction you've pointed it. This is why Neville was so insistent. The assumption has to feel real. Your brain doesn't rewire around words on a sticky note. It rewires around felt, embodied, repeated experience. The emotion is the signal. The feeling is the data. That's what the brain encodes. Your brain is not a passive recorder of reality. It is an active architect, constantly building and filtering your experience based on the instructions it's been given. And the blueprint is your assumption.